We saw earlier how we could add formulas to a word table, thus giving it some mathematical power. Well, within a word table, we can also sort data, which can be quite useful because it means we can just enter the data how we want and then sort it subsequently. So if we take our formula tables, which has 3 little tables within it, and I wanted to sort this upper table by the order of how many children they had, I would simply need to just click into the table, go to the Table Tools layout, and come across to Sort. If I choose Sort, you can see a Sort dialog box pops up. If I just move that over. Now it wants to sort by DOB, but I want to sort by children. It's giving me the column headings because there is a dot here in header row, which it spotted itself. If there isn't a header row and it thinks there is, then you would need to move the dot to here. If it doesn't spot the header row, then you would need to place the dot in header row. So it's going to sort by children. What type of data is this? Well, it's a number. How do I want to decide how to sort? Well, it's said paragraphs, which are actually the cells of the table. And I want to go descending. So I want this data to be sorted by the number of children in descending order. OK. And we see that it does what I've asked it to do, which is to sort each of the rows by descending order of value of children. However, it's put the total at the top now, it being the largest number. And then we've gone 52100, so that works. But I don't want it to sort that 8 to the top. So let's undo. To stop it putting the 8 at the top, what I would need to do is actually highlight all the other rows, then go to A to Z. We're still having children, it's still a number data type, and we still want to go descending. This time when I click OK, it doesn't sort the 8 within its own list because I didn't highlight it. So we're now sorted 52100. The rest of the rows still match up because of that paragraph sorting. It effectively treats each row as a separate piece of data. So Harry has 5 children. Harry had 5 children before we changed the sort. He hasn't mixed them about. Anna has none. Fred has 1 and Guy has 2. And the total's still at the bottom this time because we didn't highlight that into the sort. So we could do the same with our countries. We would need to highlight, including the labels, otherwise it'll mix the totals in as well. Then we can go to A to Z and let's sort by country ascending. So they then go into alphabetical order of country. Okay. So they go from B, Brazil, to U, United States, and the populations and the world percentages still remain against the correct record, so against the correct country. I could then change that sort and let's go by world percentage population, descending. Okay, we can see that the percentage population of the world is still the same as their population size, so it wouldn't really matter which one of these columns we sorted by. And our final little table here, very small table. Again, I don't want to mix the totals in, so I would highlight the rows. Let's include the titles. Without the titles, I can still go to the A to Z, but it has no header row. Now this wants to sort by Bob, but let's sort by the total descending. Okay, which is coffee, bread, and cheese. So that's the sort dialog box. Now there are 3 possible sorts. So you can have a primary sort, then a secondary sort, then a tertiary sort. But the data we have here doesn't really lead very well to that. So let's cancel that sort box and have a look at our employees table, which is much bigger and much longer. Here I could go to the layout sort, and I could sort by surname ascending. And then where the surnames repeat, I could add a secondary sort by first name, again ascending. Then say OK. And the data will then get sorted by surname and then first name. So I'm looking for repetition in the surname. So 2 Browns, I get Guy and Tim first. 2 Fartleys, Francis before Mary. Now the first record there is a test that has no first name and no surname because a blank is higher up the hierarchy of sorting than A. So that's sort. Now I could even go for a tertiary sort. So let's go for department first, then town, then surname. All ascending. That's okay. So department first, so accounts was only one in there. Clerical, there's quite a few clerical. So the secondary sort within there was then the town. So we see the Durhams, Huddersfield, Leeds, Middlesbrough all together. And then within the towns, we went by surname. So Harvington, Johnson, Scott and Walters within the sort for Leeds, within the sort for clerical. So once you start to get quite a few rows of data, the multiple level sort really kicks in. Now you are restricted to 3 levels. There isn't an option to add on a 4th, so you need to think carefully about how to sort your data. The only other extra bit here in the sort box is the options. Now the options is how to separate the fields, tabs, commas or other. It's commas for tables because a table is comma separated data. So although there isn't an option to say table cell, it would be commas, but Word has chosen that already for you. And you can choose to be case sensitive. Now notice that this option here, sort column only, is grayed out. The reason for that is that I have a table that I would like to sort, not a single column. If, however, I come all the way out of here and actually select one column, so if I select the email column, go into A to Z, it does have a header row, which is email. Options, we can see now sort column only is available. Now it's not chosen by default because sorting just that column will mix up the email addresses and they will not then match against the right person. But it can be done. Sort column only. OK, OK. So it only sorts the emails out in alphabetical order, but now they don't match the right person because we haven't sorted every row to stay together as a record. So we really need to do undo at that point to put things back. So the email addresses then go back to the right person, which they do. And when you go to sort, make sure you don't choose sort column only. But it's there as an option because sometimes it might be a necessity for what you're trying to achieve. So that's OK. OK to come out of there. And you can see it sorts by email, but it even mixes in the titles because I didn't say there was a header row. So again, undo. How would we live without that undo? We need the header row. OK. So now sorting by email address from A to Z, and then the row stays with it. So Arthur Gray is AG. Alex Small is Alex Small.